SDG11 The Big Questions. Where did it begin?
Have you noticed how more than half of humanity now lives in cities?
Yeah, about 3.5 billion people. It's incredible how quickly urbanization is happening.
Exactly. People are drawn to cities for jobs, healthcare, and education. But that creates a lot of pressure on infrastructure.
Right, and with more people, there's a greater demand for services like transportation and waste management.
And let's not forget the inequalities that arise in urban centers. Many governments and NGOs struggle to provide housing and jobs.
True. It's alarming that currently, 828 million people live in slums, often lacking basic services.
Those communities are often overcrowded and informal, which makes addressing sanitation and security really difficult.
Exactly, and rapid urbanization is fueled by a mix of poor planning, poverty, and even natural disasters.
Designing sustainable cities is key. It means focusing on minimizing energy and water use while reducing waste.
And inclusive city planning is crucial for improving living conditions, addressing sanitation, and creating job opportunities.
It's a complex issue, but understanding it helps us see the importance of sustainable development.
Absolutely. Every effort counts in creating better urban environments for everyone. Why does this issue matter? In 2014, 30% of the urban population lived in those conditions, and in sub-Saharan Africa, it was as high as 55%.
That's alarming. Quality housing and basic services are essential for healthy urban centers.
Exactly. Basic needs like health services, education, and food security are the foundation for sustainable cities.
And then there's the waste management issue. In densely populated areas, less than half of solid waste is disposed of safely.
Right. With rising waste generation, this is a growing concern that needs serious attention.
Plus, urban air pollution is a huge challenge. In 2014, half of the global urban population faced pollution levels way above WHO standards.
It's shocking. Poor air quality leads to millions of premature deaths each year.
To tackle these issues, we need sustainable transportation and renewable energy to manage pollution.
Definitely. Engaging government and civil society is crucial for improving our cities and ensuring inclusivity.
Unplanned urban sprawl is another problem. It increases carbon emissions and hazardous pollution.
For every 10% increase in sprawl, there's a 5.7% rise in CO2 emissions. That's significant.
And we can't forget about climate change. Cities need to adapt to extreme weather and rising sea levels.
Absolutely. Integrating climate adaptation into planning is essential for urban resilience. Who and what are affected?
Have you noticed how much consumer spending has increased in Africa recently?
Absolutely. It's expected to grow from $860 billion in 2008 to $1.4 trillion by 2020.
That's a huge jump. It means more disposable income for many people.
Exactly. This increased income leads to higher demand for consumer goods beyond just essentials.
And with that comes the need for sustainable consumption patterns, right?
Yes. Businesses can benefit from solutions that promote sustainable consumption and production.
It's important for businesses to understand the environmental and social impacts of their products.
Definitely. They need to consider the entire product life cycle and how it fits into our lifestyles.
And what about our environment? It seems to be the most affected by all this consumption.
Exactly. We extract natural resources to create goods, but we also generate a lot of waste.
It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? Overconsumption and pollution are damaging our ecosystems.
Right. We have finite resources, and if we don't manage them properly, we risk harming our planet.
It's crucial to recognize how these factors are interconnected for a sustainable future.
Absolutely. Understanding this can inspire better practices for both consumers and businesses. What needs to be done? Governments should really provide incentives that support sustainable consumption.
Right, and it's not just about regulations. Education in schools about sustainable diets could make a huge difference.
Exactly. Highlighting options for students to take action can empower them to make better choices.
And measuring success shouldn't just be about GDP. We need to include social and environmental achievements too.
Definitely. Companies also need to innovate their business practices to reduce their environmental impact.
Yes, and leadership should consider both environmental and social impacts throughout the production process.
Sustainable production and human rights need to be enforced across the entire supply chain.
And NGOs play a crucial role in educating the public about sustainable lifestyle choices.
Exactly. They can help communicate issues like wasteful energy usage and empower consumers to make informed decisions.
Consumers have power too. Holding governments and producers accountable is vital.
Absolutely. Voting with our dollars and supporting fair trade can really mobilize communities for change.